Hi, it's Sunday. Why am I doing a voice? I don't know. Because, as I said, Sunday is just full of bad ideas now. Hello everybody. Welcome to another, I guess, MIDI bard session. I feel like at this rate I'm going to make this a regular thing. It's just accidentally going to be regular. It's not going to be intended. Because, yeah, I probably should be collapsing for a nap right about now, but when has there ever been a good idea on a Sunday? Seriously, that's why Sunday is supposed to be the day of rest. Yeah, last time I made some progress on a Wacky Wheels tune. Wacky Wheels for MS-DOS. Just kind of re-preview where it was. I wasn't gonna intend to stop there. That was kind of the stopping point. Yeah. Put the background back on. Something that hit me afterward is that usually when there's a channel that's attempting to be like an echo or reverb of another channel, if I don't like it, I can easily take it out. But because this is all in mixed up and swapping out instruments on the same channels, that part's a little difficult to do. I realized I was starting to focus on reverb channels or echo channels more than the actual main melody on it. So not quite in love with where that track is going, and quite frankly, that probably needs like an actual, maybe not a full complete restart, but essentially, yeah, it's gonna have to restart quite a bit. So given where things have been lately, I'm not in the mood to try to tackle that. So instead, we are going to tackle something that has been on my to-do list for a while. Where did I put it? If you could read that, well, congratulations. You don't need glasses, or your prescription is just fine. But one that's been on my docket for a while. Because I have tackled quite a number of Mega Man tracks. Some games more than others, if you're aware of my efforts. So I figured what I would do. Let's go ahead and audition and see how far we get with a standout tune to me from Mega Man 6, Nightman. I just really liked it every time I hear it. It always stands out to me. So I figured, why not? Let's give it the MIDI bar treatment. Contrary to the Wacky Wheels track, we actually have some choices. Because it's not just a rip of just one composition. This is actually from multiple sources instead. Because, that's the whole wonderful thing about everybody making MIDI tracks. Is that everybody can try to take their own spin, their own direction, sound. So yeah. Before anything though, big shout out to the ever wonderful and present Video Game Music Archive. This site has been around for I don't even know when it started, but so many years. And just the fact that it's still here, archived, and they basically said they've been funded for permanent, upkeep. If you have any interest in what I'm doing, or like just curious what people have made and put out, don't forget about the site, vgmusic.com. All right, had to do that because that is where some of this actually comes from. As I've said before, more of what I do is more of a MIDI remaster than a full-on composition, which is why I always try to back off credit to me, because I'm not composing the original track and I did not make the arrangements. I'm basically doing a rearrangement because I should have had an example ready. Let's see, hang on. Just trying to look through my modern tracks here. Let's see. Ooh. I probably know a good one. If I can remember the name of the game. It's not Vice. What is it? What's the other one? Come on, brain. This is why I should have had this prepped ahead of time. And this is why this is maybe not a good idea to do. Power Blade, that's what it was. No, not Power Blade. No. It's Power Blade, ain't it? Ask like anybody else is gonna know. Not Bionic Commando. It's gotta be Power Blade. Hang on. No, that wasn't it. No, I left you all in silence as I was checking out the track. Come on, brain. Or eyes. Something to see it first. Where is it? Wasn't Power Blade, not. No, it's. Okay, this is actually bothering me how long it's taking me to find this track. Yeah, I'll put this on right now, just so we're not in silence any longer. Why am I glossing over this? Come on. Shatterhand. That was the other game. I was like, I could not think of the dang name of the game. Actually, Power Blade would have made a decent example too, but. MIDIs. I was like, let's say, what am I doing again? Official Nintendo. Yes. What was the one I did? Can I see it in my recent arrangements here? I don't think so. Okay, never mind. Actually, might as well just do Power Play at this point. Nah, I want to do Shatterhand. Yes, it happens when you don't have a plan. Probably first stage fixed if I had to guess. So I'm gonna open this up, Windows Media Player, to basically give the most egregious example of what things sound like standard in Windows. Actually, not too bad. Yeah, so someone actually did that one pretty good. But then you take what I did. Yeah, you can see you can work with it. You can make it something a little bit different. Put your own little spin on it. I'll find the Power Blade track now. See, which one was it? No. All right, that's going through that one. Let's play it through Windows Media Player, because MIDI Player here, the app is still set up for the SoundBlaster AWE32. So a slightly different spin, but this is how it sounds, just generic through Windows. The volume's not changed, I don't know. And here, not a whole heck of a lot to it, but if you open it up and try to give yourself a little bit of leeway of what you can do with it, Power Blade. Yeah, just being able to give it a little extra oomph and richness to it versus the original. Like, obviously, not gonna shit on anybody who makes these other midis because I can't talk. I really cannot talk because I am not really good at composition myself. I have tried. Believe me, I have. There's definitely been years of my life where I did try to do that. They're called high school. But I mean, in all seriousness, though, like my composition skills are nowhere near as good. So I'm always going to give thanks to those who do put out these tracks, which is why I highlighted vgmusic.com. Because, yeah, thank the people who did it, thank the people who host it. But let's move on to our main here today. So we are here to do a cover of a remaster of Nightman. So we do have a few choices here. We got 5 that I was able to pull earlier from vgmusic.com. Let's go ahead and audition and see which ones I like. I think I already got one in mind, but I figure which one it is anyway. So this will be basically the process I would do for selecting a standard MIDI composition. I mean, the drums sound okay, but other than that, I am curious to hear how it sounds originally, though, because that does make a big difference. Some of these are built around, because like the Shatterhand track, you heard it, that sounded pretty good. It does. And they probably made it around the general MIDI sound of Windows. But this version of Nightman, I don't know. They might have used a different sound card source entirely. That is possible, which is why it's shaky when you get back into with MIDIs, is that a lot of them are going to have just basic Windows. So if anybody goes into to try to play that same track, let's MIDI player. Still very honky. But yeah, somebody hears that, it's just gonna be like, oh man, what the heck? But perhaps, let's see. It's under good? No, it's not under good. It's XG, I think this is the one here. Let's go ahead and give this a try under a Yamaha sound instead. I'll stop it there because we got more to do. But hear the difference. Like, it's not as honky on the main melody there, and even the background extra notes is like it comes together and is more smooth. But who's gonna have? I mean, other than a MIDI nut like myself, who's gonna have like the playback capabilities to try to hear it for what it was? That's why if you see any like the ones that I've done, I'm just gonna put on Shatterhand in the background so we have there's something playing, so it's not just empty silence here. But I mean, who's gonna have all this set up and is gonna try it? You know, to try to hear it. Oh yeah, as I was saying, so if you ever see like from me like actually selecting my modern recreations. What is it? Snake's Revenge is a good one. Snake's Revenge. What's the track of those? That was Jungle Theme, I believe. Yeah, Jungle Infiltration. That one I've got marked with the Yamaha soft synth, which is the sound font I used right there is basically a recreation of that same synth font. Synth font? Sound font? Soft synth, yeah. Sorry, eye heads everywhere. But yeah, because I've told Mifa this when I kind of sent her the file originally. I should be playing it. This was an official soft synth. Like, so this is not recreation. This is about as accurate as it is, aside from having the real hardware itself. And from this, like, there are just some things that never always came out on different MIDI instrumentation. Another good example, Metal Gear related again. Where are you? Well, this is an example for like intended, because if you actually open up the MIDI for this, it basically says it was made for the best on the Yamaha. That's Subaru. Yeah, that was Subaru. So known by the quality. But then sometimes like you have to take guesses. So like Metal Gear Solid VR missions. This is another track, and I sent this to Mifa. Like, there are background elements that never really shone through, especially later in the track. But like when I was going through just trying out different sound fonts, I actually found something that actually kind of carried it through better. That's why I do this. Like, for anybody who, I mean, rightfully so, is like, oh, you're just taking somebody else's MIDI and doing something with it. That's true, and I will always admit to it that, like, this is where I get it from, and I did not create these MIDIs originally. But what I want to do is I want to breathe the life back into these MIDIs in just whatever I'm doing. It's not going to be, you know, full-on recompositions and covers, because that's outside of my capabilities, basically. But if I can take these creations that somebody put work into and shared it for people, I want people to be able to enjoy it again. Let's see. I'm kind of going off. This one should be decently easy to find, though. Sony. Oh, you saw VR missions. Might be this one. Let's see, is this the one? Hear that? Or more to the point, not hear it? That main melody is just kind of like gone out of it. No, let's kind of back this track up. Stands out better. And what should be the accent notes have been backed down so they don't just kind of like out, overpowering the other main melody. That's why I do this. I want these to shine. Maybe it's not the intended way, maybe it's not how somebody else would do it, but it's my spin and the way that I want to try it. That's why I do this. I want these songs to be appreciated, because it's part of what I grew up with. Before we had soundtracks where you could just basically look up any game soundtrack you want and get the actual original as it sounded experience. We didn't have that. We had MIDIs. And we were very thankful for everybody who took the time to compose these. And some of them obviously went on to still be involved in it. Because Suryu, I see his name credited all over on So Far's domain under the music stuff. So obviously these people created communities, you know, went on, you know, did more things. Or maybe not, but regardless, like, there's an appreciation for these that is just kind of lost and gone. So, yeah, that's why I do this. Okay. I mean, I'll keep that one on the back end for quiet. Okay, so back to Nightman. 10-minute tangent later. All right, so yeah. Is that still on the Yamaha? Yeah. Let's go back to my standard. No, not good fonts. Computer-based. There's that honk. I mean, the drum sounds good, but oh, that honk. Okay. Yeah. So let's try the next one. Not bad. Yeah, got a nice rich sound to it. Very treble heavy. Let's hear the other one again. So you got a little bit more bass focus with this one, which gives me a little more hope on what we can do with it. Not that, like, not having bass in there can't be a thing, because as you see me with experimentation last time, we can change the octave. So if it is, for some reason, the bass line's written too high, I could try to drop it down an octave. Hey, Phoenix, welcome in. I'm starting a different track, and so we're auditioning Nightman MIDI music from Mega Man 6. So that's what we're doing right now. Going to make our selection. Nightman 3 has been pretty strong for me. I mean, this one, the middle one here, hasn't been too bad, but I don't know. It just seems like it's still missing something. Not too bad. I'm curious what that sounds like originally. Not too bad, but I don't know. Something about like when the drums are kind of allowed to be in their own, and it's like we lose the bass. I don't know. Something about that one's not striking. Striking drums with me. Again, it seems like a part gets missing in there. It's like on just standard. Yeah, right in here. Seems like part of the melody gets lost. I'm curious. I'm gonna try out the Yamaha here. Comes on a little bit stronger. So it might have been designed for something of the Yamaha variety instead. Oop, not consoles, computer based. So that's the last of the 5. It's Mega Man 6. The last of the 5 there. The only thing that's kind of... So here we're hearing the forced echo out of it. Well, it's a nice rich sound, which I do like. I mean, the whole thing with Nightman wasn't, because some of the other ones they're like sped up, almost seems like Mega Man 2 inspired to me. Should be under stuff, audio, MIDI. Nintendo. This is why good organization's nice. Because if you don't, otherwise you might be screwed. All right, let's check a look at it. Interesting. It's like I'm not hearing as much of an echo on this one. Probably after the intro is where those change. Strings change up. Not a lot of changes. Let's not solo out, but unmute the pianos to kind of hear. And or if the other part's coming in on the other channel. No, it's coming on this one. Okay. So it is on a separate channel, so I could keep or remove depending on what I want to do. I do like that freedom a little bit. Starts with that and then turns into fretless bass. It's got an arrangement open. I was like, say, wait a minute. This must be when I first was messing with this track. How many? Probably a few months ago now at this point. Okay. Because I was like, wait, why is it on Don's Colombo GMGS already? That would be why. All right. Where to start, though? You know, I am curious, before we do get really into this. Is it middle? Yeah, I should just... Mm. And I'm starting to realize why I did not like that faster one. You know, just the constant hi-hat over and over on it. Obviously the sound could change depending on what set of drums we put on that, but yeah, that's why that wasn't resonating with me. It took opening it up to really hear that. Yeah, that's kind of got like a rolling constant hi-hat as well. Oh, because it's... I don't know. Trying to think what to really do with that one. One, I do not like the balancing on this, the panned out between left and right. You know, they did it for a separation of sound, but like, I don't appreciate just having one note in one ear versus all the other. Unless it's something that's like actually like a call and attack or something like that, or meant to be an echo that's, you know, traveling. I don't like it when one instrument's only audible in one ear. Do not care for it myself, which is why I usually kind of pan those back to center. Because I'm really trying to think, what would I replace the synth drum with? Because I'm really not feeling that. Well, let's try one thing first. First, let's get off of the default. As is the standard first step. Audio. Let's get on the Don's Colombo first. I'm not liking how the breakdown sounds with that. Yeah, I think I'll end up going back to... Nah, I won't save that change. Ah. Yeah, the triplet action on the breakdown section sound is more intact to my ear than the other sped up versions do. Yeah, I think I'll stick with this one here and kind of work with it. All right. Synth drum, 56 notes. On the opening here. Okay. All right. First things first. Gotta get rid of this fretless bass. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for each of the program changes to switch over. Yeah, because this has no pop or anything. There's so many program changes. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything. Let's look up more, so I'll wait it out. It should be most of them. Probably missed one somewhere in there, but yeah, two. What's the drop bass, right? Yeah, what's the drop bass? Oh, the drop bass, drop bass. Okay. Hope it doesn't take too much out of the string ensemble. Honestly, not. Not 100% sold on the synth drop bass, but at least it's giving some kind of oomph and something to it other than just like that whatever was happening in the background with it. All right, let's attack the drums next. Why not? So I know the hi-hat's on a separate channel, which is nice because it allowed me to separately adjust the volume. It's not always the case, but it is nice when we do get the chance to. Oh, why don't we just start with the sound file we're on already? Actually, aside from one thing here. Not quite. I don't like the sound, but I'm not 100% happy with the kick on it. Let's try another font's kick instead. Hey, Mifa. Welcome in. Still working through this, which is, I think I've settled on drums, at least on the current instrumentation demo, everything. Still not sold on the bass line. Maybe I'll go look at actual basses, but for right now, they'll hold. Let's see what else we can do here. I mean, piano's not bad, but was it this one? Who's got the... No, you don't. What was that? Was that the Talo disco font? Yes, it was. That's if I stick with piano. We'll see as this kind of goes along. I don't have anything specific in mind. I like this track when I hear it, so I wanted to do a version of it. Oop, no. Fairy Dream's definitely not it. How do I keep track? That's the oh, what's the meme now? It's like, damn, I forgot the meme already. That's the fun part. You don't. Actually, with a stronger piano presence, actually not liking it so much. Actually, hang on. I think this is in Dawn's. Let me go back to Dawn's Columbo. Where are you? MT32's Crystal Piano. Nah. No, that one, that's... You know what? Maybe it's just the mood I'm in. I'm not sold on that instrument. I kind of like that almost like churchy gothy kind of sound. How about we go to Super Italo, since that's got like your higher quality samples. Good. Oop. Won't be piano, but yeah, let's try transposing up one. Yeah. Alright, same reaction. I think that's gonna be too much standard organ sound. Let's try Omega's one. I'm trying to. Too subdued. Doing something with that one. The afternoon's going okay. Hope everybody else is doing better. Yeah, well, let's hope for everybody doing better. Speaking of, okay, no messages. Just making sure. Yeah, I'm gonna try something, but before I do, +1. Now you gotta just get me Hold on, stop brain, sync with mouth. Now you get to see me do something that I did not try last time. That is working with reverberations here. Let's go with the room reverb. So what I'm trying to do is kind of take some of the initial hit out, but kind of give it some later sustain. Kind of like where that's going for that melody. I think the tubular bells are going to be too much along the similar line, but I'm just trying it. Maybe not. Hey, Ash, welcome in. It's gonna be too much if it's down an octave. Whoa! I tried to stop and start it a little bit too quickly. Oh, it's Angie. Program's Angie. Is it gonna recover? Yeah, let's close out. I don't need that. I think it's too angry. Oh yeah, it's too angry. That is why you see me frequently save. So I do not lose my progress. I gotta open back up. Of course it took me all the way back here. NES. No, that's the actual MIDIs. Official Nintendo NES. Okay. All right, now let's close it and reopen it. So if it does crash again, I won't have to open up the file again. It'll be on this one again. All right. Ba-da-da-ba-da-da. Ash. All right. Was it at the... No. I don't think that's going to work. Be transposed down. I think it did. Put this one up a little bit. No, down a little bit. All right. Let's try it. Not too often. Like that double playing angry moment, that can happen from time to time if I'm a little bit too quick on trying to restart the playback after stopping it. But the actual crash after that, that actually doesn't usually happen. Now, usually, like I've said this on the last time, but where this program likes to crash is of live changing instruments, trying to pause, change, and restart, which is why you see me stopping so often rather than unpausing, because it's the unpausing that seems to crash more. Okay, let's see how this sounds. At least version 2 crashes a lot less than version 1. Yeah, for the bells, an octave down's too little. It's not right. Still got a lot to change in here, but yeah. Let's see if there's any other. I think I actually do like the tubular bells myself. I thought it was gonna be too much with the organ, but actually I think they're complementing each other nicely. Let's see. This is Dawn's. Let's try Phoenix GS. Hang on. No, hang on. Let's try to remember how often this changed. Okay, I could change it to the whole thing. Oh, Ash, if you're not familiar with what I do, I kind of went over a little bit in the beginning. Basically, what I do is I take MIDIs and I essentially remaster them, from my own ear. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch. I guess I should, for comparison for those coming in. So this is the original as it would have been through standard MIDI. And then this is what, so far, like I haven't touched too much. I did this piano and then that piano, and I've changed the drums and the bass line, but so far. No, those tubular bells don't come through as nicely. But no, Racha's gonna be too gongy on it. Actually, let's try one of the natural ones here. I need to back down the volume a little bit. That's not bad though. Oh yeah, I can mute that. I mean, that's what I was doing before I, when I was selecting the organ selection here. Oh, you mean what I did with that? Okay. That one I actually had to splice it in the MIDI itself to, like, so I can't. So this is all based off what's programmed on the channel and instruments. Like the composer can do their own splits, so I could select a different one. But for what I did with Eternal Wind, I heard the change, or like the addition of the other instruments to it, and I was like, this would be a perfect moment for me to actually cut and change over. So I actually went through, show this last time, I'll show the application MIDI editor. So I'll just, whatever, just to show. So like, if I wanted to, I could take one of these instrument tracks, copy it through, paste, and then delete out whatever section I want. So that's what I did with Eternal Wind, is I basically kept the first half before that changeover as one instrument channel, and I copied and pasted the second one as a different one, then deleted the original so that I could use the new one to change the instrument up. So I was inspired by the track, but that actual cut to change the instruments over, I had to add that in myself. And I thought, like, because like the composer did a great job of like bringing in the other instruments, but I thought, why don't we do like a time warp, like going from like the Genesis based instruments, which Final Fantasy, was it 3, was never on, like, you know, obviously a Sega system. So I thought, okay, you get a preview of what it might sound like on a Sega system, and then we jump to the modern on that changeover when the composer brought in everything. And yeah, like I loved what happened with that. Like sometimes the accidental geniuses that happen with that. Yeah, so I can't change it unless there's actually a break in it. So like this one, for whatever reason, the bass line's got so many changes in there. I don't know why, but if I wanted to, without doing anything extra, I could change each of these at their assigned change marks in the music. Doesn't make sense for this track, but I could if I really wanted to. Otherwise, I've got to cut and make my own channels or adjustments myself, which I do from time to time. But so far, I don't see any reason to do that for this one. All right. Am I sold on the tubular bells yet? Well, I am, but this one. Might be a little too bright. Let's try channel user. Maybe a bit too clangy. Almost love it. All right, so what I did there, for them who may not be familiar with equalizing, I thought that was a little too high on the treble, like too strong on it. So I backed it down and kind of put the mid more, just a slight little tune on it. So that's because I like the sound of the bells. Like it wasn't too clang or like a hammer hitting a bell, the tube itself. But it felt just a little too pitchy for my ears, to my ear anyway. So I backed down the treble a little bit, gave the mid a little bit more strong presence so it doesn't sound too weak. I just think I bounced out the volume increase there now. Let's listen. Ooh, I like that. We ain't done yet. I think I'm gonna address that bass line now because it's just sticking in my craw. I need down twos and pieces. Yeah, Bass Legends. Current only right now. Should be on the first one. Yes, I am. Oops. I accidentally changed the... How about I put that back real quick? That's why it's dangerous to leave that open, because on a channel track. So I was clicking to prep it for the when it came in and changed, but I accidentally changed it when it's on the strings. Let's do the natural high quality. Current. It was strings. Ensemble. Yeah, agreed, Ash, which is why I do remastering instead of original compositions. No, don't think those are going to work with this one. Just for the simple fact that like it's too low an octave, but if I go up an octave, the problem is that initial strings are going to get... Yeah, they're too high. They gotta remain there. So looks like I'm gonna have to change something, try a different set. What am I doing? Right, this is what I was trying to do. Let's see. Let's try Apollo. Apollo. Current. Let's see how those end up at. not 100% sold, but let's try some of the other ones out on it. Let's see if that was just me messing around or if it's actually getting lost there. Oops. Yeah, I also want to hear the original again real quick here. Does the bass actually drop out, or is it just getting lost in the instrument? No, it actually drops out there. Okay. Because that's the thing about bass. Too low, and it'll basically disappear out of your hearing. So I was wondering if that bass line was actually dropping on purpose, or if it was just this particular instrument's design was getting lost at the lower volume. And the answer seems to be is on purpose, so... Speaking of string ensemble, I'm not sold on that replacement. Well, those might be... Let's try generals. It just cuts out real fast on the strings. Nah, not liking that either. Let's see. Too synthy. What about just the pad strings, though? Nah. Okay, so Synergy, what about you? Well, just for the constant stop, I was trying to make sure it does not change over and replace the other one. Not quite the right presence. Arachno, how about you? You tend to be a little bit louder and prouder. Right, I gotta change the rest of them. I'm vibing with that a little bit better. Because it's a of the drop bass I'm not quite in love with. I liked it better than the fretless that it started with, but yeah, how about whoop, wait a minute. Before I was gonna say, how about I do this? And every time it changes, click to change it. I use my own problem as a solution. Maybe so many changes, I don't know. Yeah, see what I accidentally used against myself. I used it probably a little bit faster, and plus you got the guy here it all still going. All right. Still might need something with a little bit more like pluck, like finger pluck later. But for right now, that's more in line of like what's cued to my ear right now. So we'll keep that with Apollo's synth bass for right now. All right, what do we tackle next? I just realized that's very weird. Why bother start with the ensemble on one, and then the ensembles on the other two channels here? I don't know. They must have had a reason for it. Wait a minute. Why? Oh, hang on. Is that just in the outro? And then it changes over to the... What about this one? So this one's a constant changing over, so this is an actual channel. So why didn't they put it... All right, but let's see if we can solve the same problem with Arachno again. Let's try Ensemble 2. It's usually a little bit more backed off. Since we've already got Arachno doing the other ones, let's try and match up. Whole track. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, that's preserved. are you doing? What are you doing, Fantasia? You're not in there. How many notes are you? 108. Maybe it's at the first breakdown. Try to make it a little easier to hear by bumping its volume. Is it an actual breakdown? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, okay, it's coming here. You know what might work there, actually? Similar sound. Dawn. No, it's not Dawn. It's Super Italo. I think it's just... Should I put the Fairy Dream piano in there, actually? I think what's going to be the success or failure there is will we replace that, where are you? There you are, the bowed glass. We need to get that changed out. And then how much, this has got to have some synergy of whatever we replace it with. So let's see what we got. I wasn't thinking about what kind of notes it's got, so let's hear it. It's not going to come until the next piece. Right in here. The boat glass. No. No. Ooh. I wonder if it'll sell, but let's try. Where are you? Strings. A nice little violin popping out in the middle of that. Taking a, not necessarily a solo, but a cue out from the rest of the ensemble. Let's try it, just for sound's sake. Oh. Wait, what about viola? Might be a different sound font that has to kind of pull in here. I like the idea of something that steps out, not just a pad sound. Well, now we gotta tune in and find out what's really working for us. I like the idea a lot. Not sure this is the right sound font for it, though. So let's start experimenting on sound font. Who do we want to try? Sergi. Well, let's try general user. Honey, my nails. Ada, go ahead, get your
You
shot.
have the sensation of someone watching you. You sense curiosity and no immediate danger.
Here is your rehydration solution.
All right, I'll do a proper one. I've been doing the keep wake juice, but let's do some actual water here. Thank you, and take care. Thanks for stopping by, Mifa. Get some goodies at the store. Who did I completely forgot which one I was picking. I was picking general user. Okay. Might be we do need a synthetic viola just so it stands out a little bit more, but let's, again, that's where we're going to experiment here. This ain't coming out across right. All right. Who next? Library review. See, why not? Fairy Dream piano ain't working. I wonder if one of the other... just MIDI Dream. No, I don't think that viola is working. Let's see. Try a different one. Try a different font. Like the instrument, I think is fine. Well, so far I'm still not. I'm still sold on the viola, but just maybe not that sound font. Aspirin, what about you? Are for a little off the wall there. Maybe not. All right. Next font, next font, next font. New Vaporwave. No, if we're gonna go that route, let's go with just a Super Italo Disco font. Not sold on it. Not for that sound font anyway. Tyroland, why not? Let's give you a try. An awful wall try. Where are you? Industrial Dance PC. Let's give you a try. What they need. No, it's +1. The idea I like, but maybe not the same. So basically, what I did the same backed off attack with the reverb setting is the main organ is, but I think it's an idea that helps, but I think we need to give it its own version instead. Try the hall reverb. Maybe not quite as strong on the back end of it. Don't really need to make it any richer, just make. Yeah. I realized I was cut off. I think I like that. Let's change the rest of them to that, and we'll see how everything kind of goes. Industrial Dance PC. All right, so it says kind of cut off. So basically, you weren't seeing me like this initial dry level is the initial attack. So all the way up is, standard attack on the hit, and then this kind of takes a little bit oomph out of the hit of the initial, like when the note starts, which is what I did with the dance organ. I was trying to do that with the Industrial Dance PC's viola as well. think that's actually working. And you hear it with the other small adjustment I made there. It doesn't affect the ensemble strings here because they come in on a build up from silence. Let's take a little bit out of it. Not bad. Not sold on the fairy piano. I do think it needs to be something a little bit stronger now that this viola is kind of backed off a bit. I do like where that's kind of placed itself. I do like that. We're getting close here. I'm just really not sold on the fairy piano, but other than that, like, I'm really liking how this has turned out. So we need something bright. I like the idea of something bright, but I'm not sold on the piano. Use something fluty. Might need, like, it might end up with like a pad lead or something like that, but for right now, just for sake of hearing the change. Not a bad idea. It needs to stand out a little bit more. So let's try somebody else's font. See if it holds true. Mm-hmm. Why does it seem like it never changes both there? Or the right one? That could be on me, though. Forgetting to select which one there first. Alright, let's try that out. It's a bright compliment to the violas that's there, but doesn't overstate, doesn't clash with. Because the thing about the fairy piano one that was there, it's kind of clashing because we had a nice presence with the tubular bell. And it's like tubular bell, but not. But then it's the but nots that really wasn't fitting in. Plus, it's like trying to have two comedic actors when you need a comedic actor and a dramatic. Like, okay, so like, if I'm going to go off this analogy, I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, so you have like the straight man, and then you have, the, oh, what's the other? half of the duo called. Basically, you got the wacky one, you got the straight man. So it's like having two straight man voices. It's like, well, you're not looking for another straight man. You're looking for another piece that will fit in there. I don't even know if that analogy makes sense, but yeah, like just that the way that the chimes of the fairy piano were just kind of muscle in on the territory of the tubular bell, but the tubular bell had a nice little section of its own presence. So like it was like almost cheapifying it in a way by having the fairy piano there, and it just did not sound right because we already expected to hear that tonal sound from the bell in its section. So to hear like an off-brand version of that wasn't working. But the flutes kind of coming out, the viola, ooh, I do like that. We'll see if there's another one that I like better, but like, I think that's the idea. I really do. I forgot about their verse symbol. um, no. Smooth is on that one. Let's try. Well, we know we can always fall back to the Don's Colombo sound font if need be. But I mean, hey, while we're checking things out. No, we didn't even hear it. Arachno, what about you? Thanks, Techie. Yeah, I decided to, since the other wacky wheels would basically kind of need a overhaul, and I really wasn't in the mood for that right now because just that's the weekend here, the way it's been. Figured I'd go for one that was on my to-do list, which was Nightman. Let's try. What was I gonna do? I pitched it up, and then I was going to move it to. I think we're not using 4 yet. Concert venue should be good. Let's try a little like reverb to let its presence kind of stick a little bit. Let's say, oh, am I making it mad? Sometimes those additions don't like to work well. So I think it takes some of like, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, sound like somebody sipping the soup out of it by softening it with the initial attack of it, and letting it kind of carry out in a reverb instead of just the notes pulling through. All right, let's do a full listen here. I said that, but then I remembered the synth drums. Something that has not been a standout problem until, let's see, what can we do with those? Do we need to do anything with those? Well, let's experiment. Shut out, that might be too pronounced, but let's give it a try anyway. Maybe not. Let's try putting on the same tweak adjustment as we did the reverse cymbal. Actually, there might have been not any change at all. But if I'm not happy with the attack on it, maybe I should try another symphon. A little bit sometimes of a glitch. If there's only one particular channel and you add in another one, sometimes the volume jumps up. Glitches of the program, but you learn to work around them. But synergies. I mean, it's quiet, but I don't think I like the profile that I heard anyway. Retrowave. I have to turn it up because the Racha Plin's usually on the louder side. That might be too much of an overbalance. Not quite. I like those a little different though. Neo Vaporwave. Let's try yours. I don't think that's going to be the right change, but let's try it anyway. Nah, I didn't think so. Those are more thumpy instead. You know what? Let's see something. Where are you? Sonic Virus. What about yours? Try it down an octave. Almost. There's something about that synth drums thunking that I just don't like. Although I like that it's not just the, it's like hollow sound. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe that. So let's try a few more. Let's get it off bus 5 so it doesn't accidentally play it where it doesn't need to be. Yeah, I like that. All right. I transposed it. I was like, man, that went low. I'm like, oh, I wonder why. Nah. Very much too synthy. Rachno, what about you? No. Definitely too much funk. Oh, that would help, wouldn't it? Turn it on the bus ozone. Okay. We'll overstay it now, but... I'm liking that a lot. Trying to think if there's anything I want to adjust now at this point. Okay, I think I'm going to experiment with the drums a little bit. That seems to be a little bit more pronounced than I would like at this point. Otherwise, I'm really liking how everything else is kind of tying together. Let's stick with Synergy for right now. I'll just, you know. So this is where we're at. Oh, Slam Kit is where we're at before. I think it's Synth Drum that made the difference, so if I'm wanting to change this. Let's go ahead and give SoundBlaster a try. Yeah. I'll get it dialed in. I'll get it dialed in or I'll fall asleep trying. Try something real quick. Not bad, but something just doesn't sound perfect yet. Because when I tried to take it out of the treble there, it just, yeah. Drop effect. It's not the right one. Retro wave. Let's go back to synergy, I guess. Let's get a full listen here. Alrighty. Aside from the picky artist, the as I call it when I like, hey, I really like this, and I listen to it later, I'm like, oh, I could adjust this. Mifa's very much aware of that one. And there were times like, no, don't grab this. No, taking it back. No, don't post this one yet. The fickled artist. That's what I call it myself. I actually like how that turned out. It's turned out pretty good. I feel like I should do the comparison and contrast. Compare and contrast now. Because this should still be the original Night Yan. I actually forgot to compare and contrast. And then me. Just that drums. There's something with the drums I'm just not resonating with. Like, it doesn't sound bad, but I'm just like, what does that mean? Life is good, but it could be better. It's not bad, but I feel like I'm missing something to just put it right over the edge. Let's try Rot Shot again. Oop. Didn't apply. Sometimes didn't do that right. going on? Why did it change? Yeah, I'm gonna close and reopen it just in case all my drum hopping has screwed up the programming a little bit. That does happen from time to time. Because it's like, why did it suddenly change like that? Is it just the font, or is it just the applications getting confused? Okay. That actually might be dialed in. At least to what I'm looking for and what I'm listening for, at least. All of y'all might think I'm crazy, but the finicky artist always strikes later. Don't doubt it. It will happen. just might be done with this. I'll do one more good full listen, but I really like how everything's bouncing out. And I'm finding very little to really even nitpick about on what I need to do. Okay, maybe a little bit. Is it this? It's a little bit too much. All right. Hands off the mouse on this playthrough. I like it. Oh, I don't know if it's because I'm streaming the process. That just kind of like, is there anything else I need to change? Is there anything else I need to do? I don't know. What I probably really need to do is step away from it and then come back to it later. Make sure I like everything still the same. But I really like this. Like, I wouldn't feel too bad about sending this out for distribution to, well, beef up. Let's see, who else really distributes it? I'm like, yeah, just there when she uploads it to the archive that was linked earlier. Speaking of, I really should put that on my Twitch page. Is it still? Yeah, it should still be there. Yeah, tinyurl.midibard. Actually, what I should have done was just pin the comments as soon as Mifa said it. But I'll grab that for later. Oh, forgot I got all this stuff on on my screen right now. Notepad, where are you? Just grab that later. All right. Yeah. Much more successful round, I'd say. So at this point, like, the only thing I really have to do is just make sure it sounds balanced. So I try to use headphones that are pretty much like a nice neutral, not too bassy, not too treble. But what I'll also do is my main desktop speakers are a little bit more on the bassier side. Now I've got a secondary set of speakers that are purposely shittier, because the whole idea behind it was that I wanted a set of speakers with a CRT to have like an older sound. So, and they're a little bit more treble happy. So, what I'll do later is play it through, because it sounds great in my headphones. So, I think it's pretty balanced. But just the last bit to see if there's anything I need to tweak in one volume direction or another, um, is to play it through both sets of speakers and see how it sounds on both. If it sounds pretty decent on both, then this track should be considered done. Yay! See what happens when you get choices to work from instead of just one. And when, for instance, the reverb track is its own separate track that you can adjust manually and differently. Ahem. Because, I mean, that's what the whole thing is. Like, they do have a separate channel here for the echo of it. I mean, you can hear it in the original. As soon as it breaks down into the main melody there. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So they purposely did that echo for that effect instead of doing like some kind of like, because MIDI standards, like, you can add reverb and stuff like that, but just like, then you're usually adding across the whole thing. But to tweak it, like, for my individual, like, I need a full application like this to do that. But just as a general MIDI standard, though, I mean, it didn't make practical sense to do that. So a lot of times composers will have cheated, quote unquote, and just put a second channel that just has a slight delay and a little bit quieter, or in a different panned eardrum. And that's how you would get your echo, or a reverb or whatever effect that you're kind of going for. What kind of helped with this a lot is that this is not standard to see like drum parts separated out. It's nice when they are, because then that's repeating hi-hat part. I was able to just kind of put the volume down so it's there, but not overpowering. One example of something that I might have to adjust, I might have to make that hi-hat a little bit louder on the main speakers, because it could be drowned out by everything else when treble isn't as pronounced, which is why I go through both sets of speakers. Because in my headphones, I think this sounds great, but one, I'm in headphones, and two, this is pretty balanced. But I try to account for different speaker setups. Not always successful, but I do try to kind of keep that as a consideration for anything I'm doing with these. Because I want them to sound good for everybody. I don't want it to just sound good for me, because, well, I mean, as nice as that is, I want it to sound good regardless of how you're listening to it. and I try to be successful nowadays. Earlier ones, yeah, probably not. Wasn't checking that out. There was definitely times I did not, but yeah, I really like how this turned out. I'm gonna get one more listen, and I think we'll wrap up. Because the recording process I'll have to do afterwards. Because I'll have to set different speakers for. Because I don't export it. No, what I do is I do Audacity, and I do the old play and record, and then I gotta do volume balancing between um the maximum that peaks there versus whether or not I have it at 80 or if I need to go higher or lower. I usually start at 80% when I'm recording through Audacity and then kind of like adjust it from here, just so I have like a nothing's overblown sound, and also to make sure like I was thinking normalize. I think it's normalize. So that all my tracks try to come out around the same volume. I'll check to see how it's peaking on Audacity and how it's peaking in here, and the volume peaks in Symfont and Audacity. So yeah, that would basically be the last phase that I would do. But yeah, let's go one more good listen, and then we'll wrap up and stream. Save. I don't know what I changed, but save it anyway.
Here is your rehydration solution.
First off, yes, hydrate. Second, I had a late lunch. I ate before I started stream. Got a couple leftover slices of pizza still. That'll be my dinner. But that's not going to be till a couple hours. And yes, I was muted because this was the final listen before I wrapped up. You've been just coming in here and doing all kinds of rehydration solutions and all that.
You taste a small sip of the rehydration potion. Water seems to be the main and probably the only ingredient.
But yeah, I'll just do it. Last listen.
You have the sensation of someone watching you. You sense curiosity and no immediate danger.
Get back here. We're wrapping up. Yeah, so Yeah, just remains to just record it. Well, test how the balance is on the different speakers and record it and send it to Mifa. Yeah. I could drop it in the Discord too. Yeah, I could do